Yeah, okay, got it.
So he's here from June 25 to June 29.
Okay,
I think this is the first time he's flying out of India, Guruji.
I think so. I think so. I've never heard of him go out of India.
Yeah.
Swami Paramarthananda has not also gone anywhere. He never
Anyway,
wants to cross
he
the sea
wanted,
like
he
Nachur,
refused.
like Nachurji.
Lachur Bhagavan has also not gone out.
He never crosses the sea.
No.
Previously, there was a system that no one used to come to Bombay because there is a khadi which we are somebody to cross between
Oh,
Thane and so they never it is a crossing of the sea. They say and we never used to go and all. But now that is gone.
Good. That's good to know because I was wondering who will go to that conference. And so I was planning to talk to Swamiji shortly, so I'm asking about the conference. Thank you. Bhagya, go ahead.
Dekmarji, a couple of questions about the waking state to dream state and that transition you were talking about. You said the waker disappears in dream state. I'm having a hard time understanding that because I think in our dreams we identify with ourselves and we identify the people, in the dream and everything. So it seems like the waker is not quite dead. I can understand, from going to dream state to dreamless state. That is one question. The other one is, we were saying to go from the waking state to the dream state, you first go through sushupti, right? Then what is lucid dreaming? Is it like when you're going back from the dream state to the waker state, there is no sushupti in between, or?
Okay, good questions. So I'm assuming I'm not that good with lucid dreams. I'm assuming you mean the dreams that you're able to recall. That is recall very well. Lot
I
greater
think
clarity.
lucid dream is where while the dream is happening, you know that it's a dream.
Oh, that's a lucid dream. Huh? Okay, you know what, in our Shastra, our idea of dream is that you absolutely have no knowledge that you are in a dream state. Okay, when you know lucid dream, see, lucid dream is no different than watching a movie in waking state. And in fact, sometimes people get lost in the movie, they may not even know that they're watching a movie and they get carried away by what is going on. So that in fact that is less lucid than the lucid dream you're talking about.
Yeah, that is the definition of a lucid dream. A lucid dream is a type of dream during which the dreamer becomes aware that they're dreaming while still asleep.
Okay, all right. So we are not talking about that. Our idea, our dreams are the dream, the example that we give. We are not talking about lucid dreams.
Mhm.
We're not talking about lucid.
Yeah, but I was also trying to understand what is that state then, the lucid dream state, if you have to go from waker to sushupti and then to dream, right?
Right, right. See, if what is the difference between lucid dream and a waking state? What I will ask. Between waking and lucid dream, what is the difference?
So in waking state, you don't have a dream, right? I mean, I guess unless you're daydreaming, I guess, but it's
Then
day.
what is the difference between daydream and lucid dream? That's what I will ask. My question will
I
become
guess
like,
there that the dream is more active. I don't
no, no,
know.
now you are trying to make up something. So I'm saying, what is the difference between daydreaming and lucid dream? There must be some difference. I'm not questioning on that. Let it be.
It says,
Yeah.
Guruji, it says you have a degree of control over the dream's content, allowing
Degree of
you to
see
change the
that.
environment.
Yeah,
Degree of
yeah, that's in the lucid dream, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it says. I was just looking for it online.
yeah, yeah.
degree of control. Okay, so some degree, not full control. No, if I'm totally
Yes,
aware,
some
I was
degree
a
of control, and it says it's trainable. You can train yourself to learn how to do lucid dreaming.
Lucid dreaming, yeah.
let it be.
Then
That's
what?
fine.
Then what is Swapna symptom?
Yeah. So we don't get. Let's not get lost in that. We are not talking about lucid dreams. I'll just put it simply. We are not talking about lucid dreams. is there, then let it be there. The purpose of dream is not to analyze all the things that are happening in dream. Okay, one state where I'm totally helpless. Okay, the dream that we are talking about, a totally helpless state is what I'm talking about.
But the Jnanendriyas are off, basically, right?
Yeah, non-indriyas are off, correct, except the mind. All other indriyas are off, correct. It's off. That's why I said, from waking state, I must go to sleep. So Shakti must be there. Then only the dream state projection. It gives us Sushupti is the best time from which a projection can get created. Look at that. That Sushupti is a totally unmanifest. Totally unmanifest. There is absolutely no thought of anything. And that tells me now Sushupti is not absent, total absence. No, it is total absence of thought, all right, but it's all unmanifest. Karana Shariram is very much there. It's all become unmanifest. Means it's all in seed form. And that seed form can give rise to a state called dream state. And so the prediction happens. And that's why we say from waking state you have to go to Sushupti. Then only that unawareness state. Dream and Sushupti both are the state of unawareness. Waking is unaware. Aware of everything is happening. I'm conscious, I have a free will, I can exert my free will. Dream and Sushupti, no free will can be exerted. So these two are identical from that perspective. That I can appreciate. That you have to go through Sushupti. Between the waking and dream, there is Sushupti. But from dream need not go to Sushupti to go to waking. Dream से waking जा सकते हैं. That's possible. Somebody can wake me up. Or alarm rings when I'm dreaming of something. It's alarm off. So that also is possible. So
Yeah, what about the other question, Jaykumarji? You were saying waker disappears in the dream state.
correct. So yeah, correct. Waker disappears means what? That entity, the personality who has kartritvam, a karta. What is the big difference between waking state and dream state? Waking state, our experiences are continuous from day to day. Correct? That is one big difference, right? Dream discontinuous. So that continuity is gone. And the guy who's experiencing the continuity is gone also. Gone means that guy who can experience in the dream state, but the continuity is gone. There is an imagined continuity. There is all an imagined thing. Imagine. Even in the dream, I can sleep, get up, and then children are born, and then children I'm marrying off my children. Everything is going on in the short 2 minute span. Okay. There is that continuity. And yeah, the connection is that I can only dream of what I have experienced in the waking state. I can only dream of what I experienced in the waking state. Okay. It is impossible to dream something that you have never experienced. But we give an example sometimes. No, I experienced a man with horns, if somebody says. There is no man with horns at all, absolutely. Then we will say, no, maybe you've been watching too many Star Wars movies, like fiction movies and all that, where they show all these things. Or if you say, no, I did not watch all this, then okay. Mix and match कर सकते हैं, dream में. You can always mix and match. And so you did some kind of experiment in the dream. So when I say I am that waker is dead, waker is dead means that whole status that makes me a waker is not there in the dream state. Otherwise, if I wake up, I will look at my dream and I'll start crying. I won a lottery and then I did not get it. Why I won't cry? Because I'm very clear now. Waker identity is very distinct from dreamer identity. Very distinct. During the spell, I'm not sure, but once I come out of the spell, I'm very clear. It's okay. That was a dream. Thank God it was a dream. And also we say, why thank God? Thank God because the dream, the bhokta is there in the dream. The bhokta is very much there. Karta is not there. Karta is not there. Unfortunately, in dream world, that's why you feel helpless in the dream. Often you feel helpless. That helplessness comes from the absence of kartritva. And that's what I mean when I say waker does not I am dead to the waker state, or what did I say? The waker does not exist in the
That's
dream
the
state, has to die to the dream state. The dreamer has to die to the sushupti avastha, like that we say. I mean that totally different worlds, Siddhartha. Independent, different worlds. Some connection is there. I can only dream my waking experience. That is our connection. But otherwise, there is no other connection. And Karma Sharira also connection is there. Why? My experiences only, my vasanas are only getting unmanifest, manifest in dream state, manifest in waking state, then unmanifest, then manifest in dream state, manifest in waking state. So all three states are connected, yes. So yeah, if you guys can find out more about this lucid state, and that would be good to know. No, that's all. It won't change what we're going to say, but in control of some things, partially in control of dream experiences. Uh, yeah, let it be. I don't know what to say to that.
Thanks, Shikumarji.
Yeah, thank you, Bhavya. Prasad, then Ram Narayan.
Namaste, Jikumaji. Actually, uh, this question some time back when I got operated. Before that, a few years back, I heard in Vedanta the point which you just said. I remember. It's actually the deep sleep is a doorway to both waking and dream. So they're mutually exclusive. That's what I heard earlier. Now, that is what per Vedanta actually. So I heard earlier. So when I got operated, I was getting a lot of dreams very next few days after. So by applying this principle, I was trying to see, because when I'm getting the dream, like what lucid dream we are talking about, it must be a deep dream, like you said, because I know the dream is happening, but I'm in the waking state, sort of, because I thought of asking that question that time, but the right time has come now, as we are talking about this. So I was actually knowing that I'm actually sleeping, but I'm actually knowing what is happening at the dream. So it's a sort of waking. And so the principle which I heard when it's a doorway to deep sleep is a doorway to waking and dreaming. Hey, I didn't go to deep sleep for understanding this. I was thinking about that. That's one experience which I want to share. So that Vedanta, that part, can you confirm that?
So
You
the
said
doorway,
one step actually, but I'm extending based on what I heard. It's actually to the waking also. Like I have to go to the deep sleep to come back to the waking, even though I'm dreaming.
right. So that's what I said. No, that may not be possible. That may not be possible because if you are woken up by your own alarm when you're dreaming, you just wake up. Assuming we woke up as soon as we heard the alarm, we you can't go to deep sleep and then wake up. That thing is not there. You can be woken up. You can be shaken from dream state. Anybody we can wake up anytime, and we do have the example of somebody waking us up, and that person is not going to know whether I'm dreaming or not dreaming. It could be any state. So it's possible to wake up from any state. Possible to wake up. Now, see, suppose there was a jarring experience in the dream, scary experience. Then you get scared. That scary experience itself can wake us up. That means
Tiger running up.
huh? That means,
Tiger behind me.
so that's it. So therefore, I don't have to go to deep sleep in order to get up. The dream experience itself can wake up. What happened? What happened? Oh, somebody was chasing me. Ah, somebody was chasing me means you woke up because of that. So that's fine. Yeah, okay.
That's why they say the Swapna Simhavat. Jarring experience you said.
Hmm.
It is compared to the Swapna Simha which wakes you up.
Yeah, exactly. So the question was, do I have to go to deep sleep state from dream before waking up? That is the question. So it is simple. No, you don't have to. You don't have to.
And the second thing is these are very interesting. The waking is more true than a dream. So there are a lot of objections which in the Kshanika Vijnanavada. So like once you mentioned, they actually built so many differences. The subjective versus reality, a dream room doesn't exist, right? The other one, which I mean, all these can be objections can be negated by saying both are same. It's very clear. For example, the waking percepts are in comparison to dreaming percepts endure more amount of time. For example, in the dream, yes, in the dream also, it's like months and years could continue as in terms of time within the dream perspective. But only when I wake up, I said it's only small amount of time I dreamt, right? It's from the waking perspective. So the confusion is always we think about from the waking perspective and analyzing the dream. But within the dream perspective, they're all real. All the objections can be ruled out that way. So I just remembered all those, like private versus public, subjective versus reality. For example, the money in the waking state cannot be used for buying bread in my dream state. Well, that is same true for dream also. The dream money cannot be used in the waking. So those are the things we talk about.
Good. Yeah, those are all important clues for us. Very important clues. The Avstatraya Vichara. Clues for us to understand the Mithyatva of it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prasad. Ram, then Mahesh.
Guruji, is this a good way of summarizing these concepts? And that is, when you look at the waking state, it is basically the world outside. When you look at the dream state, it's the world inside. And then when you look at the dreamless state, you look at no world. So world outside, world inside, no world. And then beyond those three is your true awareness or your true nature, which is the Turiyam, right, which is the fourth state. Is that the right way of looking at this, Guruji?
Right. I mean, that is true. World outside, world inside,
And no world.
and no world. But at some point, we have to come to this outside inside itself is a empirical relative idea. Okay, outside inside is based now. You're right. Outside inside is based on this mind. Is it body or mind? Okay, one of the two. Some entity. This entity outside this entity is. If you include the body as part of the world, then okay, the body also is outside. That inside means what? Inside my brain. Inside what? If I ask.
Yeah.
1 second. Let me come back.
Sure. So Guruji, what I went was inside was that the body is resting and the mind is still active. right? And then your experience and your dreams are created by the projection of your vasanas, right? That's basically what is happening. And in the dreams, the external world is not present, only the mental projections are seen.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's a different language. A way
Yeah,
of
I guess I
saying.
was saying the same thing. Like the Jnanendriyas are turned off. It's the
Right,
same.
right.
Karmendriyas and both of them are turned off.
Yep. Oh, perfectly said. Thank you. Yeah.
Correct, correct. So projections, we call it Jiva Srishti versus Ishvara Srishti. That's another way of saying the same thing. Jiva Srishti means I created this world. What about the world I'm encountering now? Bhagavan's creation it is. I did not create anything. And even if the things that I constructed and all, if you say, okay, it's all part of the objective reality, quote unquote objective reality, which is all God given, so to speak. Okay, that much we understand. And Sushupti is thoughtless state. Thoughtless state. There is no awareness of anything. I can't even say awareness of absence because then absence is an idea that I'm aware of. No, I'm not aware of anything. You can say it like that. You can say that's exactly what it is. Because our purpose, remember, our purpose is not to exactly understand how the dream is generated, how getting into the technicalities of all this. That's why lucid at all. If you say, I say, let it be. Let it be. The purpose of the whole analysis is to understand what is changing and what is not changing. That unchanging one is me. Changing one.
Yeah,
That
those
me is
Vidyas
that.
are all Aparavidya, right?
That retail apravidya. Correct. Correct. Apravidya. Now that's why we have no contest with science at all. We don't argue with scientists at all because there's nothing to argue. You're talking about two different subjects, and
We,
so
we need to get the critical path to Turium, basically.
so Turiya. So when you say Turiya, because Turiya means fourth,
Yeah.
Fourth. But the fourth state is very much there in all the three states because I am the one who sustains the waking state also. So it is not like I have to sleep and then dream and then go to deep sleep and then I will go to Turiya. It's not like that. Because I am very much there in the waking state. Turiya is what? Turiya is me. Turiya is a way of saying. Yeah. See, Ram, this is important to know. Turiya is not a state I want to achieve. It is
It's
just
already there.
it's just saying it like this. You don't take it literally. It is saying that every state is you, but you are not a state. Every state is sustained by you, but you are not a state.
State.
That you are not a state idea is mentioned by the word Turiya. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is always there. Turium is always there.
Correct. Every wave is water. Every wave has to be told, hey, you are water incarnate.
So Turium is the ocean, basically.
Turium is water, in fact. Ocean is God.
Yeah.
Because I'm God. God is the creator of all the waves, So ocean is God, Ishvara. But Ishvara also is Brahman only. And the wave also is Brahman. So that water is there everywhere. That everywhere state of water is called Turiya. That's it.
Turiya.
I shouldn't confuse myself to say, oh, I must get into some state. And this study will take me to that state. No, it is not correct. That idea is not.
Not correct. Okay.
I hope I'm.
No, makes sense, Guruji. Thank you.
Swami Paramatmananda said there is no fourth state as such. In comparison with the three states, they make it just a statement as Turiyam only. There is not fourth state. It is the original state.
Okay. Thank you. Mahesh ji,
Namaste, Jagannath. I know a lot of discussion on this dream. I had some recent experience of taking one of my friend to a sleep specialist. It's about 6-8 months ago in Houston. He had a lot of problems because he was not getting proper sleep because of the dreams, and that made him cause all of a sudden falling asleep in the office. So there were some sleep specialists, so to speak, and they went through this test and all that. I think he slept one day in the clinic. They put all these probes and all that. Anyway, so I took him. What interesting was, after all that, we were asking question to the specialist. So one thing upfront that specialist said, medical community knows very little about dream. Okay, this is what he said. So don't try to get answers for all these things. Huge. I mean, it's easy. He literally said, in an ocean, we are a cup of water. That's all is understood. So we are trying to address the difficulties of patients to the best we can. Not that we fully understand. Some people something works, some people it doesn't work. So he gave something like that. In other words, he put us in a proper perspective that very little is understood. Don't overthink about it. That's what he said. You have a condition which we need to address so that you don't fall asleep in the office. That's all. Don't try to understand dream and all. It so happened because we have been talking about this dream for last 8 years. So, it was always in the back of my mind, but it struck me when that doctor said that very little is understood in that, irrespective of the claim people make. In reality, and I also happened to read an article where they say that it's because the functions we don't know. Some people, I can also think of a case. I have a friend in India who gets very complicated dreams, and he used to explain to me. In other words, in his dream, he will dream as if he is dreaming. Multi levels. And I used to joke at that time, but anyway, multi levels of dream. He's dreaming, and all. And it was to me all very, what do you call, strange thing to me. But people have gone through a lot of difficulties, or still going through. Granted, 30 plus years ago, maybe the sleep science had not known this much as it used to. It is at least known now, but nevertheless, it is very little. So anyway, long story short, he said, don't overthink it. You have a clinic, you have a problem, we will try to address. Don't get into why I am getting this and all that. No. That's what he said.
That's a different area. I know somebody who reads the palms and all these things, other things. That person may be able to explain to you why you are getting this.
Yeah. So that gives me a different perspective. Another question, Jagmaj, this you talk about the Maniprabha. What is the name of that book?
Name of the book is Maniprabha, and the author's name is Amaradasa. So
yeah, I know you told the other day. I don't remember which class. So Maniprabha. Okay.
Yeah, that's the book we've been looking at. So I think
I sent that book to you.
I think that somebody, I think Narayan had pinned it on they called it, pin it in that group, I think. Last time I saw it. So it must be there in the group.
I had sent him, Maheshji, in the WhatsApp.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what?
I had sent it to your WhatsApp. When you asked last time, 1 month back.
Yeah. Okay, I'll check. Jagamaji, one other thing. Somehow today's your class, the audio was not as good as it used to.
Okay.
It was kind of modulating. Maybe I'm thinking because you're using a different headphones here. You used to wireless, right? So
But it was clear to us, others.
So anybody
Yeah,
else?
Guruji.
I don't know, but it is not that I could not hear or anything. But whenever you turn somewhere there, then voice drops.
Okay, well, let's do it. Let's take a poll.
Guruji.
Let's take a poll. Yeah, Momita, go ahead.
Yes. No, Guruji, namaskaram. Guruji, when we were students of psychology in our graduation, our lecturer, he used to say that Sigmund Freud he has written wonderful books on dreams, and he has himself agreed that this is the most difficult thing to analyze, dreams. In his lifetime, he felt as a psychologist, he felt that is the most difficult thing to understand and analyze. He has agreed and told about that it's not very easy to come out with clear explanation of different layers of the mind and dreams.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. And more subtle, it's a subtle word. So we don't have as much access to it as we have for the waking world, objective world. Yeah. That's understandable. That's understandable. And so I want to,
Guruji,
yeah,
yes, we did have, like Mahesh ji said, periods of time when the last words of your sentence would disappear. So you had to make sense by listening very carefully because the audio was not very good.
I see. So how many of you raise your hand if that you agree with that experience? What
Yeah, I
Premaji
have.
said. All of you
Yeah, I
raise your
have.
hands. Okay. So Mahesh ji and Premaji and nobody else is raising.
Rarely, one or two words, not really very anything to
Okay.
complain. But otherwise, it was very clear.
Okay. So how many of you think um, the audio volume and quality was good?
It was
Nice.
good. It was perfect.
So many of you are raising the hand here. Two of you raised the hand for not good. Not good means that kind of last word disappearing, etc. What about how many of you experienced this crunchy, that what do you call that? So that kind of static noise. How many of you heard that? Nobody. Nobody
Even
heard
now
that.
it was there.
So the static noise was that Premaji mentioned last time in that public talk I gave on
Last
Saturday.
time, the last class, Guruji, you had that frog-like sound also going on.
Correct. So that's what I said. This time I actually looked into it and I found a couple of solutions. One solution that so I now switch the microphone back. See that whatever that Bluetooth that I had, something about that Bluetooth, and that was creating that crackling noise the other day, Saturday, and nobody told me about it in that public talk. Very unfortunate, but then I found one thing. When somebody was talking, I was hearing a crackling noise. So maybe that's a clue to me that if I hear a crackling noise on Wi-Fi and on Bluetooth, most likely others are also hearing my voice as crackled, something like that.
Yeah. In that talk, it was continuous right from the start. Then during the public discussion, it vanished.
It vanished. Correct. So that's why I'm using this one, this wired speaker.
No, the one thing is, when you move the head, maybe the microphone doesn't move along with you. That
Correct.
could be.
Correct. And since this does not have a microphone, this one does not have a microphone. This is just a headset. This is just a headset, so that is not a problem here. And I'm using the laptop's microphone today.
Okay.
So
If you remember right, months ago we used to have this problem, and you tried a couple of things, laptop speaker and microphone and this one and all that, and finally it became okay. And as long I think I never had issues when you were using the Bluetooth. At least in the last few months, I didn't.
Correct.
Only today I could see it. I mean, I could, some part of the suddenly disappeared words. So,
Okay.
but it's not that the whole thing was bad.
So the ultimate proof of this is to look at the recording and see how it recorded.
Some recording, and of course that may not be the right yardstick, because that Swaminiji already audio was not very good. So, that Anugraha Bhashanam, that was somewhat challenging. And I didn't attend the class, but I heard or watched the video, because after some time she switched off her video and then continued, right? Because
So how's the audio in that recording? Was that 50% gone?
It was okay. I mean, because I felt like you were all struggling to get the connection proper. I think that was probably due to the connection at her end than anything else. Because you yourself summarized her talk at the end. so I know. Then I knew it was. I'm not the only one who is having this problem. So, because initially I thought it was my device which was not giving the proper.
It has been uploaded somewhere?
Yeah, it is there. Because it is not. It is a separate item. Yeah, I saw it. In fact, I watched it on the TV.
So by the way, before all of you leave, today is Maheshji's 70th birthday, and so
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
And peace of mind, prosperity, happiness, everything is wished for you, Maheshji.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you, Maheshji.
Oh, thank you.
Shadam Jeevema Sharadashaka.
Very good. Very good. No, it's really good. Maheshji has been. I think you've been there up for Tattvabodha itself. I think you started.
Right.
So you've been at it now for a good number of years, 7 years plus. And Sanskrit also.
Your talk.
Correct.
Is your talk on Shastram and Bharatam in Tamil? Is it going to be? Can we get a copy of it? How does it work with Sankalpa?
So no, that's what I said. No, I offered them to use Zoom, but they they were not able to do that, and so it is not recorded.
You spoke very well, Jaykumarji, in Tamil. You said you don't know Tamil, but you quoted from all Tamil Tirkural and idallam romba supera quote pannine. It was so good, and all of them they loved it. It was very nice.
It was a beautiful talk.
Beautiful and very crisp and very basic, but it was very good.
It was well thought out.
Yeah.
This whole sequence of it was very well thought out.
Yeah, I wanted to see these are a group of intellectuals and retired people. They're all devoted to Panchi Matha, etc. And they've been listening to these kinds of talks for a long time. So I said, why bore them with a lot of Advaita? And I said, Shastram Bharatam. That was the topic I gave them. Is there a connection between what we are studying and our country? I wanted to just bring all that together. So that too in Tamil, that is a challenge for me, Tamil. And so I told them upfront, don't look for any perfection in Tamil. But somehow I felt it was most of the time.
It was very natural and it flowed. There was no stalling. The ideas just sequenced themselves in a certain way, and the expression was different. It was a different perspective from the regular classes. It was nice. A gift, actually.
And it is sad that I think Google Meet, they cannot record, is it?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Okay, they said they cannot record or they cannot even spotlight the speaker. That's
No,
what they
that is
say.
all,
I don't know.
everyone, every all thing it is there, but they didn't record maybe. That's the only thing. It is all possible in everything.
Yeah, Google Meet compete with all this. So I'm sure they have all the similar capabilities.
So the problem is the organizers, when they use Google Meet, they don't do things like mute everybody.
See, Guruji, right now we
Yeah.
lost you. As you spoke, we couldn't hear.
How many of you couldn't
As you
hear me?
spoke just
How many
now.
of you couldn't hear?
We
Wait a
all
minute, just
can hear except Prema, I think. We all could hear Prema.
I didn't hear.
Premaji,
Yes,
your
I'm the
laptop.
only one.
You have to
Or maybe our
take your
brain
laptop to
made
the
up the
doctor.
mistake.
Maybe that is a Canada problem.
New
Could be
laptop you have
anything.
to get.
Anyway, so
Kaivalya, quickly, I was asking perplexity what the Vedantic explanation for a lucid dream is. And interestingly, it says at the end, Vedanta emphasizes that true knowledge and liberation come from recognizing the illusion. Okay, sorry, this is the wrong one. It says it's basically the equivalent of, in essence, lucid dreaming in Vedanta is a metaphor for spiritual awakening, recognizing the dreamlike nature of all phenomena and realizing the non-dual self as the sole reality. So
Not
it's like
bad. Not bad. He also knows.
yeah. Yeah, I thought this was pretty interesting.
I want to ask a question to ChatGPT. Are you
No,
Jnani
I
or
just
Ajnani?
wanted to see what it says.
No,
No,
are you Jnani or Ajnani? I want to ask. And see what is it. Are you enlightened or not? Tell me, please.
No, that's why I asked what is the Vedantic explanation, not your explanation.
And ChatGPT will say, that's a very profound question.
Yeah.
Its way of talking is, I don't know how they do
Yeah.
this. It makes you feel as though you asked a very intelligent question. Did you get that feeling every time? Every time it says something like that. Anyway, good. So,
Jaykumarji, one more request. I think in the class you are going little too fast. That is my observation. I don't know. Maybe only I am the one who is, I think, little slowly if you could speak.
So what you're saying is the speaking speed is fast,
Yeah.
but overall content, I'm not taking too much content. But
No, content is okay. Content, we need that content. But I feel, I don't know, maybe I can be wrong or I am a slow person. So,
so you're correct, actually. I mean, I am aware of the fact that I speak fast.
yeah, your pressure is so much, you speak so fast, and your flow is like a pravaham, rushing, gushing. So,
Sometimes I try to just pause. I just look at everybody and smile. I do all these things so that it is a way for me to slow down because I have to fight. I have to do that. Otherwise, I keep on talking, and so I tell myself, okay, just and pausing also not easy because I can't just
especially
pause.
especially when you are quoting Shastra quotations, there. I think you could little slowly, if you could speak, it will be easy for a slow
I
person like.
quoted, I quoted Advaita Makarandam. I could have done it more
Yes,
slowly.
Advaita Magarandam, and you quoted from Atma Bodha. So all those quotations, maybe some people, they all type, but I write. But that's why I listen second time to take notes, But I
maybe
think
Jaykumarji, you should speak like Atal Bihari Vajpayee. You speak 2 words and then wait for a couple of few seconds before you.
he
I don't
will
know
wait.
if you have ever listened to his speech.
Guruji, there's a term these kids use nowadays. It's called take a pause for the cause. So
yeah,
Pause for the cause. Take a pause for the cause. I see. It's easier said than done, no, Ram. That's a problem. So yeah, I have to tell myself, hold on. I should stick something in front of that. Slow down. Whenever I see slow down.
no, I think the challenge is that if you're if your thinking process is very fast, it is very difficult to control the speaking part. That's probably because
I think
it's
I think also
thinking process are asking to gallop.
Yeah, and the words just stumble out.
Yeah.
How was the public talk on Saturday, Premaji? Was that the same speed as today? I mean, was it? Did I pause
Little
at all?
faster, little faster, especially as you went to the army and the regiment and the navy and everybody else. The quotes kept flowing, and with the static, it didn't help us. But it was one of the very beautiful talks because I liked the sequencing of the ideas and how you brought the beginning, the middle, and the connection. It had a head, body, and the feet very much aligned together. So anybody who is listening to it, whether they had studied the Shastras or had no idea at all, it gave a footage for them to take off from. But for the advanced students for whom you gave all those quotes from the Shastras, how the Navy had the quote and Varuna you quoted, and things like that, that went a little fast. If I wanted to take notes, I could only take very little. But then I thought I'll be able to listen to it. I've been waiting for it, but it's not meant to be. It was a very, very beautiful talk.
Right.
Jagamaji, that organization is in Coimbatore?
Sorry, tell me again.
That organization which asked you to speak?
It's a virtual organization, and they are based in Chennai, Kanjipuram.
Okay.
In fact, they are not based anywhere. So it's a group of friends. So I somehow connected with Kanchipuram because they're all devotees of Kanchi Mahapariva. Yeah, but the one person who called me, he's from Kanchipuram. Shankarapuram. He lives in Shankarapuram. That new village that they've set up.
Yeah, I was hoping it will be recorded because I couldn't attend.
Yeah.
I couldn't attend.
That's a disappointment.
Because it was morning for me, and I couldn't attend. And I thought I would be able to listen. Anyway.
I also could not attend because I was got caught up in some other place.
Yeah.
So Maheshji, all the best to you, and
thank you.
You've spent the last so many years now focusing more on the Shastram, and you have even studied Sanskrit for some years. You were studying.
Right. Because it was in the school.
So I'm assuming you now have a lot more time in your hands as far as you're not working. I think you're when did you retire, Maheshji? 3 years back.
23.
23. Yeah.
2023.
So you have a solid work stint. You put in a lot of work there.
Yeah. So 2023 June I retired. I mean, the main reason was they asked me to come to more brick and mortar place, so I left. So
very good. Mahesh worked in a company called Chevron, and so he used to travel to many places in the Gulf. He has been to Gulf many areas, right? How many countries in the Gulf you visited, Mahesh?
yeah, actually, I mean, totally in my professional career from all the way from India, when I was working in India, I visited 84 countries.
84 countries you visited?
Many countries people don't even go. So that is... yeah, I've been to Iran, Iraq, Israel, all those places. Most of the former Soviet Unions, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, and all that places. So
Turkmenistan.
Yeah, so many. Wow. Africa.
So that is part of your oil work, exploration.
Yeah, all related to oil. All related to oil, something or other. But since it is all related, it is not to one of the nice cities or something. You know, it is always some oil producing place or processing place or some place. I mean, there are places, there are no vehicular traffics. We have to go by mules in China. So it's
Very
it is,
interesting.
yeah, like a place like Ural Mountain in Russia. I don't know how many people.
Ural Mountain, I've heard of it. That's about it. And geography and all.
Yeah, like Lake Baikal, that is the largest freshwater lake in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been there when it was minus 40 degrees F.
Wow.
I've been there when it was 80 degrees F. So
I see. I see. And this was when you were working in one oil company or many oil companies?
different oil companies or engineering companies. Places like this, Greenland, Iceland.
Wow.
All those.
So nice, so nice. Nobody says I'm going on a vacation.
Come to think of it, is good. Being a vegetarian, I managed everywhere without any problem. So
amazing.
But it was good. For Fort McMurray in Canada, which is very north Canada.
Wow. What about Alaska?
Yeah, Alaska I've gone. That is nothing.
That is nothing. That's nothing.
Yeah, that is near. That is here. So no, but the challenge, Jaykumarji, to go to places like this Siberia. There is a place called Irkutsk, where that is the nearest airport for Baikal, Lake Baikal. You will be amazed the number of Japanese tourists visit that lake, that area. Siberia was originally where all the criminals were dumped during the Tsar regime or Stalin regime and all that. So that whole town was built by slaves, so to speak, or criminals, so-called criminals. And it is, the Irkutsk is only airport. It is so close. It is about 2-3 hours flight from Alaska, Anchorage to that place. But there are no flights. So you have to go all the way around to go there. There are no flights between Anchorage and Irkutsk. No commercial flights.
Even though a flight will take you in just 1 or 2 hours.
3 hours or something. Because Alaska was part of Russia, right? Which was bought by US. So it is very easy to, but there are no flights. And we have to go all the way around. Those are challenging. But at the same time, it gives a lot of experience in the sense, not from something you probably can relish in the later years. It was good. All the Russian aerofloats and those kind of airlines, it's very strange.
Wow. Amazing. 80 plus countries. Greenland. Nobody gets up in the morning and say, we should plan our vacation to Greenland. Nobody says that.
I'm sure people are,
we'll be saying that a lot now that the US is annexing Greenland.
So I've been to where the demilitarized zone between South Korea and North Korea. You can go to the other side of South Korea. I can watch from there. There are publics are allowed up to a certain point.
Watch the other side of the border.
Yeah. There are some people can go and watch. Be careful. They tell you 100 times, don't even by mistake step over to the other side. But they're all it's not that easy to step up. There are a lot of military personnel, but it's all fenced. Nevertheless, they say.
So there you had some kind of oil field or something that you were.
No. Some of these things are like the so-called tourist attraction when you visit a country, right? Like Cape of Good Hope. That is a Cape Town is a place, and then they give you certificate that you have been to that place and things like that. That's a tourist.
Okay.
Yeah, and in China there is something called, what is that? The first bend of the Yellow River. I was no interest. Who cares whether first time or second? But they forced me to go. That was a mule ride. So anyway, some of them you have to go with.
Okay.
But it's it gives you a lot of perspective. Different cultures, different things, and different. Not always airlines. Like in Russia and all, I've gone by train also. Yeah, so that's a different experience. Not like traveling by train in India or something. So, but one thing I learned in Siberia, actually, they're especially the older people. They're all very fascinated by India. In fact, when I first went in 96 or so, 96 or 97, there were people who asked me, first thing people asked me, oh, you're from India. Next time you come, can you bring some Raj Kapoor music CD, music tape? There was no. They like all that Mehran, Joker, and all those movies. Hindi movies, and especially the songs, they love. So, and there are a lot of years of that friendship is still there. I don't know about the younger generation, but at least the older generation is there.
Same reason why Rajinikanth is so big in Japan, right?
Yeah, Rajinikanth, I'm telling you, crazy.
Yeah.
I've been
Crazy
in Japan. I went to my niece used to study in the international university in Japan, learning Japanese. She graduated from JNU, and then, in fact, she's working for Sony in Bangalore, in India, right now, as a Japanese translator. So I went. When she was in the school, I visited her during one of my trip to Korea. So I stopped over in Japan and visited her, and so some of her friends wanted to go to a movie, and I didn't know. I said, okay, wherever you want to go, go. We'll go. And we had some Indian food and all that, and they went to a Rajinikanth movie. Everybody wants to sit right next to the screen, and everybody has many girls wearing this Rajinikanth T-shirt. And the first, it's like our villages in India. Villages in India, they're all whistling, and I thought only my great grandfather's village that used to happen. So that's what it is. That's so crazy. I never understood why they were crazy.
Like the Abhishek and the Vijay's cutouts in
they were very crazy about it. This is again in, when was this? This is 99 or 2000, around that time. They are very crazy about Japanese. I don't know whether still he's there.
No, it's still there. It's very much there.
Very much there. Okay.
The movie Muthu was a big hit in Japan. It was so popular. I found out about
I think they were
Japanese
okay with any movie where Rajinikanth comes, especially the first time he comes in the movie. Full of whistle and I don't know. I've not watched Japanese movies. I don't know whether they are anyway related to something like our family drama, Indian movie or something. But still, some of these girls, mostly girls, they love Rajinikanth. I was very surprised.
What about Amitabh Bachchan and all those Hindi?
No, I not heard that. I mean,
It's
not
more
in.
Shah Rukh Khan. They're big fans of Shah Rukh Khan in Russia.
It was Rajinikanth that much was there, and in Russia it was Raj Kapoor.
Yeah.
Raj Kapoor was big thing. In fact, next time I went from Houston, I did carry for them some music cassettes. Those days, CDs were not yet, and then cassettes were easy to fry. You didn't have to worry about your formatting and things like that. The system, I didn't know what Russian system was. So tape anybody can play. So they really liked it.
So nice.
Yeah, and also there's a good chunk of Baha'i faith population there. That is another reason. See, because I don't know if people like Rukminiji who lived in Delhi. I don't know, Ram Narayan, where are you? You are in.
But I was next to the Baha'i temple in Chicago, so I'm very familiar with
in
the
Kalkaji.
Yeah.
Because I used to live in Hauskas, and there used to be a bus which goes all the way straight. Last stop is Baha'i temple in Kalkaji. So I've been there a number of times. I loved because it's a very nice place to, very silent. They follow, it's a beautiful lotus temple. It was built, and they wanted, and I told them this thing. Those people said, "Oh, come on, we need a picture or something." The next time I went to Delhi, I gathered some pictures of Baha'i temple and gave it to them. They were very, very happy.
Very interesting faith.
Yeah.
In
Because
Delhi,
she lived in Delhi.
yeah.
I'm telling about the Baha'i temple in Kalkaji.
That Kalkaji during Navaratri, there is one Kalkaji Mata Ji is there.
Yeah, that is there.
She is very popular, and people who go there, they go to Lotus Temple, which is close by. And that is a very artistic wonder when it was made. And
it will more look like that Sydney Opera House.
Yeah. This Baha'i faith, they don't worship or they don't have picture. Just walk in, sit quietly.
Yeah, just like Islam, right?
Yeah.
Islam, they just have a little bit of writing on the top. You just have to on the top of the dome, and that's
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I liked that ambience.
But not like Islamists, they make loud noises. They are very
nothing.
Quiet,
it's absolute silence.
Very quiet.
Very silent. I didn't know, honestly. I mean, I didn't know anything about Baha'i thing till I went to Siberia. I've been there.
Maheshji, when back in the old 70s and 80s, when you have these English movies, they make this thing called greatest hits of movies. Basically, the Baha'i faith is greatest hits. They took like all the good of all the different faiths and then put it together into one. So there's background of Islam, there's background of Buddhism, Taoism, Shintoism, Hinduism, everything put together.
I don't know much about all that.
Yeah.
But I went there purely because I like the setup, the ambience there, the surrounding areas. And it was not too far from my house where I live. I was living in Hauskas.
Then came Swaminarayan Temple.
Correct. The Baps people.
Baps.
Yeah.
It is all three are close by, and it is a big attraction for tourists and locals also.
When I was in Delhi, that was still 1990. I don't know whether this Swaminarayan temple was there at that time. I don't remember.
No, I don't think it came after.
No, not
It came after 96 or 2000.
In Chicago, they built one in
because Kalkaji
2000.
Devi temple, I know.
That is very ancient and very great. During Navaratri, the traffic jam is so much there. Yeah.
I've gone number of times. I've taken a lot of visitors there too.
And this Baha'i and this Swaminarayan temple being new, whoever used to visit Delhi, we have to take them those two spots.
And there is one in Swaminarayan temple or Akshardham, they in
Akshardham, yeah.
Noida, I mean, what is that? Mayur Vihar.
Mayur Vihar.
I have to drop. Maheshji, very happy birthday.
Yeah, okay,
again.
okay.
Yeah, happy birthday to
folks.
you, Maheshji. How you
Oh,
are going
thank you,
to celebrate?
thank you.
Have a great day.